Hello my wonderful Flourish users, and in today's video we're going to be looking at how to create the catching game. Yeah, I said it, the catching game. So this is a game whereby you have to control a sprite to catch the apple, and then when you get the apple you get scored for it, and when you miss the apple you miss a point. So you're going to win the game if you get to 50, and then you're going to lose the game if your score gets to 0. So fun. All right, so let's get started. Now I'm going to be splitting this video into 6 sections. The first one is we're going to be creating the introduction to the game. That is we're going to have a little bit of music, and then you'll be prompted to click a button to start the game. You understand? And then the next one is we're going to be moving the ball. Yeah, we're going to be moving the sprite, the ball. Yeah, and then the third one, sorry about that, is how to make the apple move from top to bottom. And then the fourth one is we're going to be adding sound to it. The fifth one is scoring. Game will not be formed without scoring, so we're going to be using variables to add our scores. And then the last thing is we're going to just end the video. Are you ready? Let's get started. All right, now the first thing you need to do is to sign in. Obviously, if you do not know how to sign in, please click on the link above to learn how to create your Scratch account. All right, that's good. Now after you've signed in, you move to your create button, and then we want to create our lovely intro. That's the first thing we need to start with, something that will engage the user. So we're going to call this catch the apple. Yeah, so catch the apple game. Yeah, so that's it. Now we're catching the apple, but obviously we do not want to use this guy right here. We want to use something different. Now to do that, we're going to create our own backdrop. Yeah, we want to have our own backdrop that would actually, introduce the game. All right, now to do that, I'm going to select the backdrop, and let me use, blue sky is plain enough. And what I want to have in the backdrop is an introduction, a lovely introduction to the game. So so I'm going to create another text, and I'm going to write catching game. Yeah, catching the apple game, something like that. So let me first change the color of the text, and then I can now write catching the apple game. Click on the start. Click start. Click here. To start the game, or click the button to start the game. I think that'll be fine. Click the button to start the game. Yeah, something like that. I might decide to move this to make it look so cool, and then we can now position it to the center. Now you decide to change the font size if you like, because it's a gaming app. So let's give it something. Yeah, that's it. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think it's good like that. All right. So this is our catching game. I can decide to move this a bit forward to kind of align it. So we've been able to design our intro video, so we need to put a button here to just start the game. All right, so to do that, you're going to choose a sprite, and I'm going to pick any of this button for now. I will just pick any. So let me just pick this one, and then I'll put it right here in the position that we all want it to be. All right, so to put the start text, you just go to costume, because we're still dealing with this sprite. So just go to costume, and then click on text. You could actually make it white, because we don't want conflict of colors. All right, and then say start. start. Yeah, more like a gaming text. I like that, so we can make it big. All right, so that's it right there. So start the game, and you do the same thing right there. If I were you, I would just copy, and paste, That's all. So we can have the same effect. And to custom, right? So now this is it. This is how we want it to be. You could also decide to put the ball, the catcher, something that will just make it fun. Yeah, right here, and Apple. I put it right here. Yeah, so now it's time for us to animate. All right, it's time for us to animate. So what we want to do is we want this to we want the text to move. We want this one to go up and down, this one go left and right, this one just dancing around just for you. So now to do that, let's go start with the button. We want it to go up and down, but first you need to first get the position where we are, the initial position. Now to know the initial position of any sprite, go to motion and then you scroll down to go to. Now this exactly, I'm sorry about that. This exactly is the initial position of the button. So you have to just click on when flag is clicked, and then you to confirm that. Now watch this. If I decide to move this button right there and I click on flag, it comes back to that position. So that is the initial position. Now we want the button to move up and down, and at the same time change color. How do we do that? To move up and down, we're going to use a function called glide. Now glide means you're moving from one point to another. Now the X position it signifies the left or right position, while the Y position signifies the up and down position. So because we want to move up and down, we're going to choose the gliding function that would move twice. So the first one will be to move up, and the second one will be to move down. Now how do we know which one will move up? Now to move up, we just have to increase the value. Now this is 90. That is the point where the button is 90. So to increase the value, we're going to give it a positive number because we're going to add like 20 to it. So when you add 20 to minus 90, you're going to get to minus 70. So you can keep minus 70 right here. So now minus 70 is higher because if you check through the costume right there, I just want to show you something to just analyze that, and then we move on. If you check through the costume right there, you notice that the more you keep going up, the Y increases. So now from minus 80, you keep going minus 170, minus, you understand? So that is why I said that our to move up, you can pick minus 70. Now to move down, you can pick a number that is larger because it is negative. So you can say minus 110. Yeah, that's it. So now you wrap this up in a forever loop. Alright, because we want it to keep moving like that until we start the game. So alright, like that. So this would actually make it glide up and then glide down. Let's check that out. So when I click on my flag right now, let's see what happens. Yeah. Alright, that is exactly what we want. But now we're not done yet. We want to also change the color. We want to change the color while the button moves. We want to change the color of this button. Now to do that, we go to looks and then we scroll down to change color effects. That's all you need. Just put that, wrap that around the forever loop, and we're done. So you could actually use that also. Let that respond also to when flag is clicked, and then we're done. That's it. So let's check that out one more time. Now we're getting there. It's getting more fun. Now our intro is already getting more fun. All right, that's good. Now we're done with the button. Now let's do the same for the text. Now for the text, we want it to move left or right. That's all. We want it to move left or right. So we apply the same method we did for the button. Now to do that, you see when flag is clicked, we want to get the initial position of the text. Don't forget to select the text. So now this is the initial position of the text. Now to test run that, move it a bit down and then click on flag. It goes back up. Yeah, that's it. But in this case now we want to move to the left. Now what do you think we're going to do? You can pause this video and guess before you come back to it, okay? But now, to do that, you just use the glide also. We're using the glide, but in this case, we're going to be changing the value for the X because we're moving left to right. Now, to move left, all you need to do is to subtract the value. If you want to move left, and then you add the value you want to move right. So to subtract value, let's just subtract like 20. If you subtract 20 from 32, you're going to get 12. All right? And then if you add 20 to 32, you're going to get 52. Yeah. So that's it. So this will help us move left and right. Put it in a forever loop. Put it all in a forever loop and then attach it to your game. Now, when we click on flag now, you see, yeah, that's it. We're already animating our text. For some reason, I do not like this text. I don't know. I'm just having a little bit of challenge with the text. Can I change the fonts? Let me change the font family, please. Pardon me. Pardon me, please. I just for some reason do not like the text. I think I'll just go with this, and let me just go with this. You can pick any one of your choice because I don't know. I just don't like that one. All right. So now let's click on the flag now and see. Good. All right. So catching the Apple game. Click the button to start the game. That's it. All right. So what we want the two text to do we need to animate that? Do we need to? No, let's just leave it like that. The only thing we want to do right now is to add the music at the backdrop. Now, to add the music at the backdrop, all you need to do is to first go to sound. After going to sound, we select the sound that we want by going to choose a sound, and you go to loop because we want a longer sound this time around. And let's quickly check for one. Now I'll be very fast about that. No, I don't want that. Let me check something that's no. Okay, I'll pick this. All right, you can decide to change that later. So that's video game 2, and I'll go back to the code and then just play video game 2. That's all. Sorry, excuse me. So play video game 2, and then when flag is clicked, then we want to keep repeating that. Okay, we want to keep repeating that by going to forever loop, and yeah. So that's it. So when I click on the flag now, yeah, this is an introduction to the game. Now let's move to the second part, which is going into the game properly. Now we want it to be that when I click on this flag, I want everything to disappear, and then in a way, in fact, not disappear. I want this to disappear and also this to disappear, but the apple reduces in size and go to the top, and then the ball comes to the bottom, and then we start the game. The game starts inside. So how do we do that? To do that, you only need to use the broadcast, so that when I click on this button, I want this to reposition itself to this point, and then this to come right here, and then this to disappear. So the first thing I want to do is to make this disappear. But to do that, you need to broadcast a message. If you do not understand what a broadcast means, you can click on the link above to check our videos on broadcast before you continue. All right, but I'll still try my best to explain. Now, when I'm done with when I click on this button, I want it to broadcast start the game. To do that, you go to event, and then you select when sprite is clicked. Now when the sprite is clicked, I want to broadcast a message. I want to broadcast a message. Now, when this sprite is clicked, I want to broadcast a message. Now, broadcast a message that says what? Start game. I hope I'm not too fast. Start game. Start game. Now, this will respond to the game. So when I click on this button right now, I want to start the game. So what I want is, I want this to disappear, I want this to reposition, and that's all. And then I want this button to also disappear. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So when I broadcast start game, I want this button to disappear. To make the button disappear, I would receive the same message that says what? When I receive start game. Now when I receive start game, I want this button to fade off. Now to make it fade off, all you need to do is to go to looks and then scroll down to change color by effect, but this time around I'm going to change ghost effect. But we want it to fade in a slow manner. So to do that, we're going to say fade by 5 effects, but now we're going to repeat the function 20 times. Now to take full effect, it's going to give 5 multiplied by 20, that's 100. So that means it is going to turn to ghost mode at 100%. Let me tell you what that means. If you use this like this, it will fade a bit. You see? That is not what we want. What we want is actually, we want it to fade off 100%. So watch this. This is just going to hide it immediately. That's not what we want. But what we want it to fade off slow and steady. Now to do that, you're going to change this to 5, and then you're going to reduce it like that. This would actually fade off. Now let's check it out. That's it. So when we click on this, it goes off slowly. You see that? That's the first thing we did when we click on the flag. That's one. Now the next one is when we click on the flag, well, sorry, I said flag. When we click on the button, we want this music to fade off also. To do that, you need to first set the volume to 100% when flag is clicked, and then now when the button is clicked, that is, you have to receive when I receive start game. When I receive start game now, I want the volume to reduce gradually. Now to do that, you go to change value by -10, and then you use forever loop. Now this would fade the music slow and steady. Now let's check that out. I'm sorry if I'm too fast, but I have a lot to cover, so that's why I'm a bit fast. Just pause the video if you feel I'm too fast and follow my steps. Now when I go. Fantastic. That is exactly what we want. Can you see that? Let's go again. Yeah, if you feel that is too fast, you can reduce it by, I guess, -2, and it's still going to give you another good effect. Fantastic, that's it. So now the sound is off. Now it's time for the text to go off. The same thing also, we're going to receive an event which says what? When I receive start game, I want it to fade the same way this button fade. Okay, I want it to also fade. So to do that, repeat the same step. Go to looks, and then go to change effect. But now you're going to change ghost effect by 5, and then you're going to repeat that step 20 times. All right, and that would actually make our text disappear. Now let's check that out. All right, now when I receive start game, I want to first reduce the size of this. So to reduce the size, you go to look, and then you set the size to 50%, and then you reposition it. Now remember what I said. You need to first get the position of this guy right here. All right. To get the position, you go to event. You see when flag is clicked. So when we click on flag, we want the apple to come here first. We want the apple to remain this big, so we change the size also back to 100. That's the first thing we want to do when we click on flag. After that, we want to get the position, so we say go to. This is the actual position where it is right now. You understand? Now when we click on flag, it becomes bigger. But now when we start game, it reduces in size, and then we want to change the direction to come to any random position at the top. Now to do that, to come to any random position at the top, you just say go to random position. That's the first thing you do, and then you now select your Y. Now let's check something out. Now how do you know the Y value for the top? To know the Y value, just let's click on back, choose a backdrop. I want to show you something for the coordinates, and you can see that what Y is 180. So for you to make the apple come to the top, you just change Y to 180. So now let's do that. I'm going to delete that backdrop. I don't need that backdrop. So now I'm going to change Y to 180 for the apple. Now we said go to random position, but let our Y position be 180. So set Y to 180. Yeah, 180. Now this would actually do the work. Now let's check it out. Let's check it out. Go and click on flag. You see that it went up, but there was a mistake. Let's check it again. Click on flag. Our app is supposed to come to this position and not this position. Now, how do we get that? So I'm going to move my apple back to this place, and then I drag my go to again. Where's my go to? Hold on, please. I need to be sure. So I move my apple right there, and then I go to motion. Now it's saying my go to is this. Alright, to confirm that, I could just easily check right here because I don't want to. So let's just check it right here. So to come to the left position is going to be x is minus, say minus 20, and then y is 0. So that's it. Y is 0 minus 20. So let's quickly do that. I'm going to delete this one right here, and I want to change the code for my apple. Alright, so go to y is 0, but now let our x be minus 200. Let's see that. Let's check that out. So now when I click on flag now, yeah, that's it. So it's picking on any direction. You cannot see where the apple will go. So now let's do the same thing for the ball. Now to do the same thing for the ball, all you need to do is we want the ball to come right here at the bottom. Alright, and then that's all. We want just to come at the bottom. So to do that, you go to event and see when I receive start game. You go to change X. We want it to come to the center. Yeah, we want to start at the center. So let's get that position at the center. So you drag it to the center, and then you drag go to. Alright, for some reason, well, let's make our y minus 170 because we don't want it to be at the bottom. We want it to be around this. So that will be around minus 170. Let's try that, and let's check that out. Now, for some reason, when I click on flag, it should jump back to this position. Now, to do that, you go back to event, and then you see when flag is clicked. Now, when my flag is clicked, I want my ball to jump back to this position. Now, to do that, we're going to check again. You're going to go to motion. This time around, we're going to say go to. Now, your y, your x will remain 0. No, sorry. Your x will remain, your y will remain this 0, but you can actually pick 200 for the x, and then you want to set back the size to 100. I'm sorry if you feel I'm too fast, just pause the video to check. Now let's get it out. Let's check this out now. Yeah, that's it. We're about to start the game. I do not really like the fact that it's a bit below, so let's change it to minus 160. Maybe that'll be fair. Let's check that out again. I still don't like that fact that it's still a bit below. Let's change it to minus 150. Yeah, I don't know. I want to be really fair with this game. Right, that is it. This is exactly what I want. So now I'm going to stop the video right here because I do not want a very long video. This video is long already. All right, so this is the first part of the video. Please wait for the second part of the video where we have to move the apple and then move the ball and then get the scores and end the game in a lovely way. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment in the comment section if you have any question. I'll be glad to respond to any of your questions. I'll be waiting for your questions and then wait for the next video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe to our channel and tell your friend about this lovely channel. I'll see you in the next video.